Hi everyone, here's your 2.2 homework help video. Question number 2, -6 times 9. What we should be thinking here is that we have opposite signs. We have a negative times a positive, and a negative times a positive is always going to be a negative. 6 times 9 is 54. So negative 54. Number 8, write an addition expression and write a subtraction expression represented by the number line and then evaluate. So we can start at 0 and we go 5 to the right. So this is indicating that it would be a positive 5. From there, we go left 1. So 5 minus 1 would be our subtraction problem. And then we could take the 5 minus 1 and we could chop slash, turning that into a addition problem, and then evaluate. 5 minus 1 is 4. Number 10 and 11, complete the table. 14 divided by -2, these would have different signs. 14 divided by 2 is 7, and any time that we have different signs, we know our answer is going to be negative, so -7 would be our quotient. Number 11, -24 divided by 12. We have different signs. 24 divided by 12 is 2. Anytime we have different signs, our quotient will be negative. So -2. Find the quotient if possible. Remember that you cannot divide a number by 0, but we don't have any here. So for these questions, number 15, we have a negative divided by a positive, so our signs are different, so our answer will be negative, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Number 17, we have -14 divided by 2. A negative divided by a positive is different signs, so our quotient will be negative, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. And number 19, a negative divided by a negative, our signs are the same, so our answer will be positive, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Numbers 22, 25, and 27 will be similar. Find the quotient. Here we have a negative divided by a negative. The symbols are the same, so our quotient will be positive, and 49 divided by 7 is 7. -56 divided by 14. Our integers are different, so our answer will be negative. And then 56 divided by 14 is 4. And number 27, we have the opposite of 65/5. 65 divided by 5 is 13. And then we take the opposite of that, which is -13. In number 29 and 30, you're asked to be the teacher. Your friend finds the quotient. Are they correct? Explain your reasoning. What I see for 29 is we have a negative divided by a negative, so we have the same signs, meaning our quotient will be positive. 63 divided by 9 is 7, so our quotient should be positive 7. Your friend gave a quotient of -7, so they are incorrect because they used their integer rules incorrectly. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. For number 30, we have 0 divided by -5 equals -5. This would be incorrect. 0 is not a positive or a negative. However, anytime you have 0 and you divide it, your answer is always going to be 0. Modeling real life. You read 105 pages of a novel over 7 days. What is the mean number of pages you read each day? Please remember that mean is the same as average. And to find the mean or average, you take your total and you divide by the number of days. So in this case, we would have 105 pages divided by 7 days. So we would do long division, 105 divided by 7. 7 goes into 10 once, subtract, and bring down, and 7 goes into 35 5 times. So our average would be 15 pages per day. Using order of operations, evaluate the expressions. So we need to follow PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. In question 32, I see that there's division. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So we have -8 minus 7 plus 5. Now all that we have left is add and subtract. So -8 minus 7 is -15, and -15 plus 5 is -10. For 32, I see that I have multiple times where I'll be multiplying or dividing, but I do not have parentheses or exponents. So let's start with 24 divided by -4. My signs are different, meaning my quotient will be negative, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. On the right side, I see that I have -2 times -5. My signs are the same, so I know that my answer will be positive, and 2 times 5 is 10. I bring my addition sign down, and I have -6 plus positive 10, so that would be 4. And I know my 4 is going to be positive because my bigger number was positive. In questions 34 through 40, we're going to use substitution to evaluate the expression when x is 10, y equals -2, or z equals -5. So for number 34, we have x, which is 10. So we're going to substitute 10 in place of x. We're going to divide by y, and y is -2. So we have a positive divided by a negative, so that's going to be opposite signs, meaning our quotient is negative, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Number 36, we're going to multiply 2 times z, and z is -5, and then we're going to divide by y, and y again is -2. Order of operations tells us we need to multiply first. So 2 times -5, our signs are different, so it's going to be -10 divided by -2. Now we're going to divide integers, and our signs are the same. Negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. And for number 40, we're incorporating absolute value. We're going to have x, which is 10, times z, which is -5, and we're going to divide that by the opposite of y. So that's the opposite of y, the opposite of -2. So let's multiply the top first. 10 times -5, we have opposite signs, so our answer will be negative. So that's going to be -50. Divided by, and on the bottom we have negative, so a negative is a positive. Now we'll do our -50 divided by 2. A positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. And the absolute value of -25 is 25. In question 42, we're looking at patterns. Find the next two numbers in the pattern -128, 64, 32, 16. What I notice right away is that each time my number is decreasing by a half, or it's being divided by 2. But I also notice that my sign is changing from a negative to a positive to a negative to a positive. So that tells me that my rule is divide by 2, but because my sign is changing, my rule is going to be divide by -2. So in this next step, I would take positive 16 divide by -2. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So my next integer would be -8. And now I'll take that -8 and divide it by -2. A negative divided by a negative will be a positive, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my last integer would be 4. Now let's just double check. I have negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, so that pattern works. And 128 divided by 2 is 64. 64 divided by 2 is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. The Detroit-Windsor Tunnel is an underwater highway that connects the cities of Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario. How many times deeper is the roadway than the bottom of the ship? Okay, so the depth of the road is -75 feet. The depth of the ship is -15 feet. So to find out how many times deeper the road is, we would divide -75 by -15. We see that a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 75 divided by 15 is 5. In order to figure that out, the division part, you could skip count. 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 plus 15 is 45. 45 plus 15 is 60. And 60 plus 15 is 75. So you skip counted once, twice, 3, 4, and 5 times. Because skip counting, repeated addition, it's all the same as multiplication, or in this case, division. The table shows a golfer's scores relative to par for 3 out of 4 rounds of a tournament. What was the golfer's mean score per round for the first 3 rounds? For A, we will take the scorecard of 1, -4, and -3, and we're going to add those all together because mean equals average. And average is going to be the total divided by the number of numbers. So by adding all these together, we're going to get the total. 1 plus -4 is -3, and -3 plus -3 is -6. The total number of numbers we added was 1, 2, 3, because there were 3 rounds. -6 divided by 3 becomes our new math problem. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So what was the golfer's mean score per round? The golfer's mean score was -2. For part B, it says the golfer's goal of the tournament is to have a mean score no greater than -3, meaning it would have to be -3, -4, -5. Describe how the golfer can achieve this goal. So here's what we know. Through 3 rounds, the golfer's average is -2, which means for round 4, they are going to have to score significantly lower in order to drop that average. So this becomes a little bit of a guess and check where we can just pick scores for round 4, find the average, and figure out what their score would need to be in order to get an average of -3 or lower. So let's just take, for example, -5. Let's put -5 in there. So now we have 1, -4, -3, -5. Those are the total numbers for each round. and there were now 4 rounds, so we're going to divide by 4. So we have 1 minus 4 is negative 3, minus 3 is negative 6, minus 5 is negative 11, negative 11 fourths. We're not quite there because this is 2 and 3 fourths, and a negative divided by a positive is a negative. An average of negative 2 and 3 fourths is not quite going to cut it because the golfer had a goal of negative 3. That's okay though. That put us on to something here. We know we weren't quite far enough into the negative, so that means scoring negative 5 for round 4, it wasn't good enough. So let's say that we score negative 6 and see how that affects our average. 1 minus 4 is negative 3, minus 3 is negative 6, minus 6 is negative 12. We still had 4 rounds, and negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So we met our goal. The golfer met their goal of having a score of negative 3 or better, which means that last round they had to score a negative 6 or lower.